Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video. The F1 driver career mode with Alpha Tauri, episode number 29 today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for season 2, round number 7. If you missed the previous episode, Monaco, I recommend go and check that out, and of course subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 driver career mode videos. But R&D wise then, already looking at rear downforce, so we're going to mirror that with a front downforce upgrade as well. Also got asked about Arrival, and again for the 1000th time on this year's game, that's a no comment because picking out of those three is an absolute no. But R&D wise, one minor upgrade, but Alfa Romeo have brought an upgrade, their first significant upgrade of the season. Don't know whether or not it's going to do anything for them, considering the fact their drivers aren't the best on the grid. Red Bull moving slightly away from the rest of Ferrari, Alpine, Mercedes and McLaren, all tightly close together as well. And then
mechanical issue means you've lost one of the gears, I'm afraid. Say again, you have lost access to one of the gears.
So yeah, this was fun in practice. My gearbox started having issues and we lost 5th gear, so as well, obviously using the older parts in qualifying, but for practice, excuse me, but for qualifying we've got new parts. They're not brand new parts because I'm trying to save those for later in the season, but they are fresher parts and we shouldn't really be having an issue, especially the fact we took some extra parts as Stroll has crashed in qualifying at Baku, and I thought they fixed this. I absolutely thought they had fixed that and they wouldn't be crashing there anymore, but Stroll has crashed there, and he wasn't the only one, because here's Gasly, our teammate, also crashed at the same corner, locked up into the wall, and that's him out of qualifying. We rejoin our lap then, our fastest lap. We've so far set the slowest lap of everyone, so qualifying is going usually well now, as we go into the latter half of the season 2, as the Ferrari gets out of the way, trying to get this Williams out of the way as well. 10.5 gain through turn 1 alone as well. That's more like it. Another 10th gain to turn 2. Poor exit on the previous, our first and only flying lap. ERS a little bit low as well. Got another 10th gain through the corner, so we are gaining 3.5 tenths through sector 1 alone. Where's that going to be compared to Albon? It's really slower, slightly faster than Albon, but bearing in mind he's probably improving that such a fact being beaten. So Zhou slightly faster than Zhou, but we are now almost, very much. They gained 2 tenths of that corner, lost a little bit on the exit there compared to our previous best time through the castle section. Now almost 8 tenths improved, over 8 tenths now out this corner, which the AI get OP traction every time through that corner, and that's not just on this year's game as well, even though they have tried to fix the OP traction. Almost 9 tenths into that lazy corner. Always can bin it there, which the AI did. Second up on our previous best time. We're level with Zhou through sector 2 though. So although the first lap wasn't that great clearly, as Alfa Romeo's upgrades have brought them 16th and 18th on the grid. As we come up to the line then, where will we be? We're going to keep to the left to get the shortest possible route to the line, and I think that's P13. It is. I think we went very close to purple in the final sector. So as I've said before, the car's very good in a straight line, but not being able to out-qualify our teammate Pierre Gasly. He starts 11th, despite setting a time. It's like binning it. Verstappen though is where he needs to be, but Leclerc is 2nd. Norris 3rd, and as for Stroll, well, he'll have to come from the back. I'm pretty sure he crashed in real life as well, so F1 game. Very realistic there, though. We'll see what we can do. Time for the
A
race.
warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Russell, Sainz, Perez, Vettel and Nicholas Latifi, Magnussen, Phoenix, Yuki Tsunoda and Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Joe, Alex Albon and Robert Schwartzman, Stroll, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. That's it then. It's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
So here we are down in P12 because Gasly has taken, unfortunately, a penalty. You'll notice that the Ferrari has a slightly different livery. Basically, it's basically the same, pretty much the very similar livery to what they were wrecking before the update, but the yellow Ferrari lettering on the rear wing I've kept. So just thought I'd point that out. So 5 foot lights then, and away we go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's an okay start. Try and get Magnussen. Second phase is always terrible. You're going to defend the inside, trying to push Latifi through that corner. Fortunately, no damage. There's a bit of collision. We're going to get Latifi now. He's on the medium tyre. We don't know him slowing us up. As well in the Alpine as well. As Max Verstappen has lost the lead to Charles Leclerc, the two McLarens, 3rd and 4th. We're saying that Hamilton's having a go at Ricciardo, but he's hit the curb on the inside. That's guaranteed to lose the position there. As well, might lose to Sainz. So we're having a look. Double dive bomb, and it worked. Didn't crash there. A fantastic little move on both Vettel and Perez. Perez, to be fair, is on the medium tyres. A little bit of just couldn't get it stopped really. Thank Lord Vettel decided to give us the room. Otherwise, we would have been terrible there. We do recover. Vettel isn't going to give us there. You can see that new livery. Revised livery, I should say, the big yellow Ferrari lettering on the back again, as well. Vettel's all over the back of us. We're trying to force him into the path of Perez, because Perez is on the mediums. Now, knowing the game, he'll probably pick for hards and not softs, which is very frustrating that they do that, especially when you want a teammate or to actually do well. And they're still fighting here. At turn 2, Vettel, however, takes the inside, and that surely should give Perez the position, especially the fact that Perez now being on the outside. But no, Vettel does come through, but Perez surely will have the inside now, and does keep the position. There's a bit of contact there. Vettel, though, gets back in front with DRS, so those two are still squabbling and causing them to fall back. We're catching up to George Russell, and we've known from previous episodes the Mercedes is woeful in the straight line, but I just can't get him into get DRS on the main straight to be able to get past him. but we might be able to undercut him here with a good stop. We'll have to wait and see as we come in then. Good entry, 2.4 second stop, that's about average from optimal stop. As well, going to come out in P15 as well, but there's a whole gaggle of cars up ahead, including Lance Stroll. Remember, he crashed in qualifying. He's holding up Daniel Ricciardo as well. There's an Alfa Romeo involved in there as well. Both of those started on the medium compound tyres, and we're going longer into this race. We set a purple final sector, under surprise. There is George Russell, and ladies and gentlemen, we've undercut him, and we're going to get DRS off Carlos Sainz, who has been napping throughout this race. Russell, though, is going to come back at me. We're going to defend the racing line, squeeze him to the inside, and retain the position. So far, narrowly missing that ball where it comes up. But again, at this corner, Russell tries to go again, gets the better exit, but then we're able to squeeze him out. Fast left-hander, as we've lost DRS. Fantastic. Just as we come into DRS range as Sainz on the main straight to see how we can do, we've lost DRS, and that's going to put Russell all over the back of me. We've actually made contact with his. Sainz is past Hamilton, but even without DRS, we're faster than Mercedes. We're going to dive down the inside of Hamilton. A little bit of contact there with Hamilton, and Russell has actually gone through on his teammate. Here's a replay of what happened then. A little bit of revenge for Spain. But you know, at the same time, I'm trying to go down the inside, and then Hamilton's just trying to keep his nose in. Never am I allowing him to keep his nose in once. We've got the inside there. As here's the replay on board with Lewis. He's having a look at Sainz, and then he just gets a bit flummoxed as we make the dive on there, as well as now squeeze Russell to the inside of that corner to retain the position. Not really an overtaking spot. Sainz is going to run away, and he's a much faster Ferrari. So we're right on board with Russell, and he's taken a bit of curbing, and there's contact. Excuse me, not Russell, it was Hamilton, and there's a bit of front wing, and there's Vettel, and both Vettel and Perez are now in front of Hamilton. So not only has Russell now come into pits for a new front wing, Hamilton has lost out 2 positions as well, and the top 10 is currently rounded out by Valtteri Bottas. So can Aston Martin get their first point of the season? It's been chased by Zhou Guanyu in the Alfa Romeo, and then Latifi. We've got Perez all over the back of us, but he's on hard tyres as well. But he does get a very good run down to that corner though. But you're about to witness the mighty straight line speed of the Alpha Tauri. Watch this. We've got loads of DRS to play with. Look at this. We're not even at the DRS. We're not even got open DRS yet, and we're just going to absolutely fly by. Vettel's going to have a go as well, but they're going side by side through into turn 2. Vettel will have the inside, and Perez should survive with a better straight line speed than the Ferrari, but Vettel goes to the outside. As a replay here of Charles Leclerc got held up in the pits by his former teammate Carlos Sainz, and that allowed Verstappen to take the lead there. Back to our POV though, on the last lap as well, Perez isn't close to us in that penultimate corner. He's going to have a go at us here on the run to the line. As Max Verstappen, exactly what he needed in the Alpine, not what Charles Leclerc wanted today, and he'll have to settle for P3 I think, as Norris jumped in with the slow stop as we're weaving to try and break the slipstream up to the line for a fantastic P6. I will definitely take that after, unless, you know, we were 1 point qualifying last in qualifying, but we've come home P6. Didn't alter the AI at all from qualifying to the race as well, but there we go. P1 for Verstappen, P2 for Norris, another second place. How long it will be until McLaren. Ricciardo will be satisfied with P4, today. Gasly, a little bit disappointed he couldn't make anything else than P16. Lost out to both Williams cars as well, especially Albon, who started behind him, managed to finish in 13th. So a little bit of frustration, but I'm sure Gasly should fight back. Hamilton came back, finished 9th in the end, and Bottas did get that crucial point for Aston Martin, which will keep them so far ahead, Alfa Romeo and Williams. We're still P6 in the championship. Gasly P11 in the drivers. But if we get Gasly scoring a few more points, then we can take the fight to Mercedes, who do struggle in straight line tracks as well. Aston Martin jumped Alfa Romeo and Williams up to P8 thanks to that solitary point from Valtteri Bottas today as well. And Verstappen starting to flex his wing now. Won 4 of the last 5 races, and now has cut the lead to just 2 points as well. Leclerc will look to bounce back at Canada. That race episode will be out later in the week. So yes, if you have enjoyed today's video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 22 drive camera videos as when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and bye.